Hey there, fellow farmers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, Castle in the Void. Episode 4, Space-Grown Rice for All. I want you to load these meals into the shuttle and head back down to surface. Launch. So I don't know how much more steel there is there, but there's still here. So I think it's fine to like park here and keep going. Quick look at your pond? Sure. You are construction, mining. Oops. Give me a moment. You're in transit. Construction, mining, craft, art, intellectual, sanguine, superimmune, industrious, with organ decay. But we do have a spare lung for you. I'm just not doing the surgery right now because I want you to spend the work drive time working and not being anesthetized. Alright, now we can do a pen marker. I'll just make it out of wood. I don't even have wood. Alright, let's deconstruct some of these chairs and then make a pen marker out of wood. And maybe what I'll do is put a pause on the chem fuel wood for now, just so that I have some wood to play with for whatever reason. Yo, stop grabbing the wood. Ruin Loth. No, quit it, guys. Oh my god, you're killing me. There we go. So, sheep in space. Now that we have the sheep in space and they're like not about to die, might as well raffle them off. Name them after you guys. You voted for them, so here you go. Raffle timer's up. First raffle of the stream for some RAM and use. So at this point, I would like Ruin Loth to grow, cook, and haul. And Scorp to keep building up our steel supply. What I really want is to have an amazing amount of food available to us up here in space, so I don't have to rely on ground hunting. Because we're gonna... It's one of these feedback loops where, like, we'll have to just keep using chem fuel to get more food. And that feels like a bit of a waste. Also, having space wool clothing, to be fair, the wool that we're going to get off the sheep, one nice thing about the wool is the wool will help to insulate us from the vacuum of space. Because in RimWorld, space is cold, not vacuum. It's not exactly... Vacuum in RimWorld is weird. Like, in real life, it's like... Vacuum isn't exactly cold. Because there's not, like, particles in space to be cold. It's kind of the lack of particles. So yeah, it's, like, technically cold, but also technically kind of not. Where, like, if you're facing the sun, you're burning, and if you're not, you're cold. Whatever. Alright, Dyer went berserk. So, I had mentioned this before. They never try to escape, but they will try to do stupid stuff like this. How much blood do you have right now? You have your blood. Cool. So, hemodrain. Bye. Oh, yeah. What's up? Yeah, hemodrain's kind of fun. You have blood? Not anymore, you don't. Bye, Dyer. One thing I could do for Dyer, just to try to keep him happier, because obviously I don't want to have to constantly, like, suppress him in that way. It's fun, but let's go ahead and break down these chairs that I'm not using. And then give him a table. And then I probably want a smelter in here as well. Because there's a lot of, like, tainted gear that is going to be good for me to break down. And then, like, biocoded weapons and stuff. You know, we have a lot of junk that we could get rid of. Oh, shoot. I forgot the fine meals are locked away. Ah, you're not actually all that hungry yet. Yet. And I'll probably, you know, Felix is going to make a good enough table. It's fine. Yeah, normal quality, it's fine. Who's got low food? What map tile is that? It's not our home tile, so it must be Scorp's tile, but I'm not worried about Scorp's tile, because, like, it's a temporary tile, and he's fed. He's holding meals. Cool. Alright. How are we doing here? Load that up. Another thing that I had mentioned that we might want to do down here is stone cutting. Cut stone and load it up for space. And slate is lighter than granite, so have Scorp work on a stone cutting table, because we're going to want to import stone, right? We don't really have building materials in space. Yes, we could use steel, but steel's used for a whole lot of other things. So it might make sense to also cut surface stone and bring that up to space. I'd love vac stone, but we don't have an asteroid near us for that purpose up in space. So for now, we can just do slate. And getting like a slate stuff in space might be nice. So for right now, don't haul over mine, just build up a little bit of minerals or steel, and then we'll bring that back up. All right, the U is named Noisy Boy. You know, I'm going to make you a ram. Given boy. GMT, you're going to be the ram. There's a... Never mind. There's like a General Motors Ram joke in there somewhere. That's what I was going to say. And then Scorp, you won twice. Okay, I'm re-rolling that. Vingali, you are the U. And long may you live. How's your wool growth? It's working. So I think the most important resource for us to gather at the moment is steel and components. Now I will do one more thing, or like maybe two more things of steel, haul that, and then stop the rest of the steel. I feel like we're just poisoning Dyer's simple meals. Like Ruinloth has not had any problems with fine meals, but all the simple meals are just like death over and over and over for Dyer. Diarrhea is what his name's going to be now. Given how much food poisoning we've tainted him with. All right, we want components. The hell are the? Here's some. God, that's far away, but fine. Scorp. I want you to consume a meal and then head on out. So taking a look at our colony, we have like a decent stockpile of steel, especially after that ship comes in, plus there's steel out here. And then I would say the thing we're going to need the most is like components, as we're building complex things over time. But Felix, I'm actually going to have you construct over research. I want you to build this stuff. Oh! Aw, it's attacking Scorp. Aura. So one of the other reasons why I have Scorp... Oh, yeah, okay, whatever. Edekin from the Path of Beasts. One of the reasons why I have Scorp in Recon Armor rather than Vac Armor is in Recon Armor, he's not, like, speed disadvantaged. Except for this jerk does look like he's beelining straight to my colony and not to me. Oh no, my torch. Okay, now you're breaking stuff I care about. You little loser. Now, Edekin are... You're moving at 3.7. I'm moving at 3.6. You will outrun me. I'm hoping blood loss starts building up, because I do have some organ decay. So, like, I don't love this situation I'm in, to be honest. It feels very much like you're going to try to kidnap me. I should have just had him break for the... There we go. How's that feel? Break for the shuttle. I want to get another burst fire on him. His pain's already medium level. There we go. There's some blood. I do not like this fight. If Felix was down there, he would just smoke the dude in an instant. Oh, speaking of smoke. What the hell? Stop it. Well, there goes that butcher table. At least everything else is like steel, which is slightly more flame resistant. Okay. You hit me hard, but like... Oh, God. Ouch. But you're basically done. So I'm just going to run out the clock here. Because I don't need to get whacked by another club. I got lucky as it is now. And my plan is to just have Scorp load back into the shuttle and go back to space to recover from his bad bruise. And then to get his new lung. So I don't have any, like, disadvantaged movement or anything like that. Oh, there goes my fine meals. Even more reason to leave. Which means the remaining time of... I think what I'll do is I'll do the novice ceremony first. And then do the surgery for Scorp. So Scorp. Grab the remaining components, the 4 that we grabbed. We managed to mine before we got ganked. And then load everything up into the shuttle and get back to orb. You plus components, silver, and yeah, good. So we didn't fill the shuttle, didn't really have time. Alright, medical treatment. Here we go. Instant coagulate. And then once rune loss up, we'll do the bestowing ceremony. So, speaking of the ceremony, we're going to want a party spot, marriage spot. And this is where I hope the ceremony take place, because it's the nicest area in our base. Felix managed to build some more hydroponic basins. I'm not planning on covering the walls with them to use up the entire zone, because power's cheap, so I'd rather have freedom of movement. So I'm just going to be filling, like, a square of them, not the edge of the map. Or the edge of the room, rather. Alright. Quests. Novice ceremony. And hopefully, whatever her name is won't, like, suffocate. Run, lady, run! Alright, she does have a vac gland, so she'd be okay. Everybody else showed up, obviously, in armor. So she's going to get some vacuum exposure. And cold. Apparently she's going to be more cold than vacuum exposed. But she made it inside, no problem. And this is exactly why we want, like, a proper landing pad in the future, which leads directly to a door. Because walking there could, in some cases, like if we're like hosting people or have guests or are selling slaves or whatever, that could be a deadly walk. Alright, here we go. Bestowing ceremony up. The expected quality is rather low, but it's as good as it's going to get. And everybody is in attendance, and then as soon as it is over, we'll do the surgery for the right lung on Scorp. Unimpressive. There was a 26% chance of unimpressive and an 8.5 of terrible. So I got unlucky there. It was most likely to be honorable, but whatever. I received the title of novice and gained a new Psylink. And then I have a quest for a acolyte title already. But that requires me to have a throne. Which would be a good thing to do. Alright, right now, Felix, I want you hauling stuff in. Especially the stuff that decays quickly. Like the components and the leather. So, I want to do another bestow ceremony. Make a throne. So, I don't want to have to make multiple thrones. And in order to make one throne, what we're going to need is probably a stone and gold. And there is gold on this map tile. Here? Yeah, there it is. I don't... There's probably 75 gold there at least. And then, stone. And maybe slate chunks are reasonable. So what I'll be doing is sending Scorp down here to build a stone cutter. Cutting a whole bunch of slate so that we can build the throne. And then getting the gold so we can build the throne. And getting a throne appropriate for the acolyte ceremony. Oh, I did the wrong surgery. I did the remove the bad organ, not the install the good organ. Doing the other one. Becker's Rescue. Alright. 4 turrets, 1 waster, defending the site. Becker is also a waster. He's a prisoner held by the pest partners. This is an opportunity for us to add to our number, which would be great. And the other thing is, Felix has the opportunity to take another psycast, so I'm going to give you a poll about that. So now that we have closed wounds, we get corpse explosion. And I'll just go over all the remaining psycasts now. So, again, as a little reminder, Blood Focus allows you to very quickly regain your Psy Focus for the cost of Hemagen. Blood Spew is sort of like a vertical pulse vomit spray. Word of Offering forces the target to offer blood. Corpse Explosion blows up a corpse into vomit-inducing mist. Sanguine Spear is like a longer range blood shard, but it only works outside. And it is a lobbed target. So it doesn't insta-target, it like you throw it like a long-range grenade and it blows up into like damage and also like vomit blood. We've got Blood Right, which is the little moat that you create that floats around and increases your ability as a psycaster. And then finally, Bloodstorm. And Bloodstorm creates a local it rains blood essentially on the map tile, and it makes Sanguophages able to cast basically for Psycast focus free, and everyone else caught in the storm that isn't a Sanguophage like vomits uncontrollably. So basically it is a Castle Doctrine storm where you summon a storm of blood, and it even works in space. You summon a storm of blood around you, and then only Sanguophages can be outside without horrible consequences. So if we get attacked by non-mechs in high volume, Bloodstorm absolutely neutralizes raiders. Like, it just cripples them and allows Felix to run around just murdering everyone. Or anyone with a gun from inside to do the same, under roof coverage. So, you can decide on the next sidecast. 2.5 minutes to vote in the poll, and I just wanted to cover the options there. And Scorp Surgery worked. He no longer has organ decay. Good. Oh, and Vingulli gave birth. So raffle timer up for that as well. So vote and raffle timer. We've got a little lamb. Baby lamb. And, wow, no rest. I think you're probably already pregnant. Good God, guys. Give it a minute. God, yep, she's pregnant. My lord. What are we, factory farming here? Alright, this has 20,000 watts of excess power, so I'm not really worried about the power consumption of my grow-op. Loki is fine. So let's just keep getting the basins built. Set an auto-slaughter? I'm okay with what's going on right now, because we'll get, like, at least from the females, we'll get, like, milk, too, right? I think. That's a thing, correct? Or do they, is it only wool? No, it's only wool, isn't it? Yeah, even still. You've all heard of Agora wool. This is like space wool. Steel wool. I don't know. Let's pretend it's special. The children can be raised for me? Yeah, possibly. Yo, clean up first. Oh, God. Oh, Nightbot, shut up. Sorry, guys. Just ignore that. Alright, blood focus it is. So, Felix will pick up blood focus, which is the rapid meditation recovery. Cool. Scorp. Once your anesthesia wears off, I'm going to have you go surface side and work on getting the materials for the throne. Is ranching for me a viable strategy in RimWorld? Yeah. It's not super efficient if you can hunt, but it's still viable. RimWorld doesn't have, like, the conservation of, like, energy, so you can make more, it is possible to make more food from feeding animals than, yeah, it doesn't, it's not like, oops, that's not what I meant to do. It's not necessarily logical, in other words. You can get a positive feedback loop with, like, calories, which otherwise would be impossible in real life. You can't feed an animal, like, let's say 100 calories and expect more than 100 calories of meat to come from the animal, because that's not how physics works. But RimWorld doesn't really care about that, does it now? So we got one full basin's worth of grow. As I said, I'm not doing the edge tiles, because sunlights are cheap, and I can power up, like, a dozen of them without even batting an eye, so I don't need to maximize the square footage of grow. Dopey Sabs, thank you for the cheer. And we're still pushing along with microelectronics, granted it's slow. Oh, you know what I just did? Shoot. And turning off Nightbots. Okay, I'm gonna have to reset the raffle timer. And turning off Nightbots, like, reminder annoyance. I reset the raffle timer for the lime. My bad. So what are people upset by? Trapped underground, ate without a table. Unoppressive, entombed underground. Tinted armor, hungry, disturbed sleep. Disturbed sleep seems like it's avoidable, so let's, like, close the doors that lead to the bedrooms. Also, the, let's repressurize the anchor. There we go. Scorp no longer has... You know, I'm probably going to want to wait 1 day to send you down. Because in 1 day I'm going to have another work drive. And that's going to make you a lot more efficient down on the surface trying to make stone and whatnot. So I'm going to wait to send Scorp down 1 more day and just have him deconstruct the like debris and junk up here. Shuttle still has plenty of chem fuel, enough for a whole bunch of trips. Like 6 trips, so that's not much of a concern. And then when I become an acolyte, if we take a look at the acolyte requirements, we will want a double bed. And the other issue is we're going to have no biotech buildings allowed, which is a casket. So, Felix is going to require... Well, alright, let's calculate if we are successful at maximum, which is Archon. That is a bedroom requirement of 30 tiles. So if we split the room up like this, where we have like death rest and bedroom, that's not unreasonable to do the 30 tile requirement. So maybe what we'll do is something like having 2 doors instead of 1, where we'll have the bedroom on one side of a double bed, which we'll have to make, and then the death rest on the other side, because they have to be separated for happiness reasons, or for fulfillment reasons. Normal quality. Well, whatever. Alright, so the idea here is to put... I think we'll start with the steel wall. I'm just going to do something silly like this. Keep it really simple. Where we just remove this door and split it up left and right. And that will help to fulfill the whole requirement of needing a death casket zone and a bedroom zone separated. So, bedroom, death rest chamber, both are assigned to him. And we can recoup some of the cloth from the floor. That'll work. We're almost done clearing out of the debris of the derelict station. Just about done. I am going to quickly dev mode and fix like the overhead mountain error that I had here, because it's supposed to be clear in this spot. I'll just fix it now. Done. It's gonna bother me if I don't. So now the overhead mountain zones are correct. Cool. All right. Cooldown is 11 hours on work drive, and the idea is to send Scorp down to try to gain the materials needed for the throne. Once work drive is gone again. And congratulations, Jackson. You're a baby lamb. Well, there was a lot of junk here, yes. And some of the junk, like, takes a very long time to break down. Like, these shelves, they don't yield materials, and they have, like, a very long construction time or something. It's kind of weird. I, like, don't really understand why it takes so long to break them down, but it does. Just one of them things. Now, the thing about the... So if we want, like, an ideology room, we might want to consider having it be physically separate from the wreck and throne, because I think it needs to be separate. I think that's one of the requirements. Once it becomes a requirement, when more people join our faction. And that will be a thing soon. Ship to the stars, you don't care about that. And then, of course, there's still Becker's Rescue. And I intend to do that, hopefully, when I have a little bit more psycasting power. Once the throne is done. Because I wouldn't mind having more permits. Because the permit's also really powerful. If you recall, some of the royal permits that you can get is like steel drop, food drop, medicine drop. And interestingly, those are like really good permits to have here in space because I don't have like easy to come by food or medicine or steel. It has to be earned. And the process of earning it is expensive and labor intensive. So down we go. Make a throne and make stone and gold. Technically, we're not making gold, but whatever. All right, so we're heading back down to the surface. I'll park here, and we're going to make a stone cutter. So the stone cutter is going to be the first thing we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not mine this just yet, and go mine the steel here, or the stone cutter, and then chop down as many trees as we can. And I also might want to get a tool bench. Or 2 tool benches, because I can always import them back up to space once I'm done with them here. So they're still useful. And it will speed up the process of making stone chunks. Yeah, my base makes 57,600 watts of power. Yes, that is correct. It was originally a little bit more, but I destroyed one of the life supports. So that I could freeze the freezer. Because the difference between 57 and 60,000 is like, whatever. At that point. Gratuitous amount of power or a gratuitous amount of power is still a gratuitous amount of power. Especially if you're not doing a whole lot with it. Because, of course... Oh, we need a lot more wood for that. Let's do a steel stone cutting table, not a wood one. That should help. There we go. Because there are some things that require an immense amount of power in RimWorld, but, like, I don't use a lot of that stuff. So if you're doing, like, a lot of mech control, that obviously is, like, a huge power suck, you know. But if you're not, you don't need it. And I'm not doing that, so I don't really need it. So, yep, setting up 2 tool benches here. And then I'll haul them over once we're done. Hunted goats. A praetor is asking us to take care of 2 goats at Outpost for 18 days. And we'll have a bunch of raiders coming in. I'm not really sure. I'm not convinced this is worth it. Mostly because it's Hotha. Hotha are impids, and impids breathe fire. And, like, Felix is not chill with fire-breathing impids. So, surprisingly, I think I'm going to turn this one down. It ain't worth the risk to our vampire leader until we have more of a force. Oh, Wanderer joins. Sure. Hi, Andres. Let's take a look at you. Okay. Well, a brawler wimp. I see a need for a pain stopper in the near future. You also believe in Nova ethics? So, like, we need to fix that too. Because I don't know what the hell that is, but it's wrong. Alright, question. What to do with Andres? Or Andre, whatever. Colonist. Banished. Offered as Empire tribute. Those are the 3. You guys can decide. It's not impossible to make him a decent colonist. If we got a pain stopper in him, you know, his wimpiness could be resolved. I don't know. But we could also just offer him as tribute. So one of the mods I have for reference is Tribute for Offer, which allows you to call in a tribute caravan and give up a colonist for royal tribute. And I'll have the ability to do that as soon as I get microelectronics for a comms console, because obviously we can't call the Empire without one. So what I could do is I could bring Andres temporarily up to space and just like have him chill as a colonist, and then enslave him or imprison him right when it's time to tributize him, or whatever you want to call it. But for now, it's not a terrible idea to just, he's a crafter, to have him just chop up slate blocks. You know, and then eventually offer him up as tribute. So I could raffle him off, keep him as a colonist until he's served his purpose, and then give him up as tribute. And it looks like that is the popular option. Okay, I am going to raffle him off, but he is going to be eventually tribute no matter what. I mean, maybe the Empire will treat him nice. Who knows? I don't. I don't know what they do. Really? There's nowhere to haul the steel? Oh, yeah, there is nowhere to haul the steel. I forgot. I had a temporary zone for that. Oh, I don't want to haul the steel. I want to move the workbench. So, he also has a marine helmet. It's poor quality, but it's like probably better than our vac helmets. So giving that out to Scorp or someone else might be nice as well. And we need at least 300 slate to make the throne. And then 75 gold. So I'll have Scorp, now that he has all the materials to make stone quickly, start to get the gold. I don't have the... Where'd the meals go? Did we eat them all? Did I not bring any? I kind of remember bringing some, but we seem to be missing them. So we might need to make a trip up to space soon. Unless we want to, like, grab berries. I can... What's your plant cut? You suck at it, but you suck at it less than I suck at it. So, harvest some berry bushes, and this will be a stopgap meal. Well, maybe. Until we get back up to space. Oh, you have 2 fine meals on you? Hey, drop those. Andres is like, I feel used. It's like, you don't even know. Yeah, there's agave, but people don't like eating agave raw. It's upsetting, whereas berries raw is like normal. So if I had to choose between agave and berries, it's going to be berries every day. Why deal with I ate raw food malice when you can avoid it? What's funny is I had agave this week. I made a dinner that had agave syrup in it. So once I used all the agave syrup I needed for the meal, I was like, maybe low-key just eating agave syrup for funsies like it's honey. It's pretty good stuff. I don't mind it eaten raw, but, you know, pawns do. Of course, I wasn't just, like, chewing into the fronds or whatever it's called. So I wasn't eating it like a Neanderthal. Easily we have enough gold. And then the leftover gold could become a multi-analyzer once we have need of one. Taking a look at our meat supply up here. Obviously it's decreed, like it would behoove us if we have the carry weight for it, of course, to start to hunt. And it looks like we will have the carry weight because the slate ain't that heavy. And I'm going to stop digging at the compacted machinery for now and hunt instead with Scorp. So, animals. What do we got? Dromedary? Oh, wow. Just one dromedary? All right. And I might want to put the butcher table... Well... I might want to put it back inside so it just doesn't keep burning up every time someone annoying shows up. And then replace some of the steel walls with slate ones. Once we have enough slate cut, I'm pretty sure we already do. To sort of further fireproof the base. Because, like, I don't really mind if they get inside and they, like, torch stuff, but I don't want to have to keep replacing everything every time there's, like, an angry person around. Right? That gets old fast. Alright. Temporary pawn is named Destroyer. Yeah, that's funny for, you know, a wimp. And his title is Tribute. Pay no attention to that, Destroyer. You don't need to worry about what that means. Look at his face. He's so sure I'm not lying to him with a face like that. I'm kidding. Dude looks like he knows what's gonna happen. Alright, we are gonna need food. Oh, manhunt pack of sparrows. How many? 2? Hey, Destroyer! You want to tank some scary sparrows for me? Try a run for colonist ship. Oh, sorry, you're failing your colonist exam. We're gonna have to send you to boot camp. Yo, what the heck, Sparrow? Go attack the wimp. Where are you going, actually? Is this a sparrow with a... Well, we won. Okay. I was gonna say, is it a sparrow with a vendetta against something weird? Because it seemed to be just, like, flying away